the EST update, and then I will check whether you guys update correctly or not. Okay. All right. So yeah, for I think for NCR, I think good job for UNMC and also TU for having a summer project already. And I think JB, you guys also submitted a summer project. Yeah, but I think it's just in the database, it's not showing lah. All right. So yeah, good job for that. But I think mainly for Kuching side or the remaining TU or JB or UNMC, if you guys are having like to plan to get summer sales, yeah, so make sure that you also updated in the performance that part lah. Okay, so I think overall NCR is quite stable currently compared to T-Box, because yeah, you can see like, okay, everything is still 0, 0, 0 lah. Okay, yeah, so I think one reality slap to every one of you, right, is that more than half of the LC and SUs are not yet starting attraction. Okay, at least from the data that I can see, a lot of you guys are not yet starting attraction. Okay, so I think one thing is that you either we didn't update, or either I do not know whether you actually progressing or not. So make sure that you update so that, okay, I know that you are not having any bottlenecks, things like that. Okay, so but before that, right, based on all this data, I think just to let everyone of you to know, we have already started 2 months of the summer, but then we are having all this, like, you know, especially for MYV, we have like half of the AM haven't progressed actually right now. Yeah, so in last week meeting, we got to collect all of the context, right? Like what is not happening, things like that, right? Like for example, onboarding late. A lot of you guys mentioned about onboarding late or timeline delay, and then that's why we wouldn't able to achieve, and then not enough manpower, things like that, right? So I think just to let you guys know, for this, all of you guys, right, we actually still left 1 month left. Okay, I think for the first batch of the LC, and then batch 2 will be and then you just have 1.5 month left, and then for the all of the remaining LC and SU, you just left 2 months as well. Yeah, so but then right, with this number, I haven't actually deduct the Raya holiday lah, and also your exam pick, all those things. So I think a reminder for every one of you not to, you know, stress you out, but actually give you a reminder. Okay, you just left 2 weeks for Hero CU UNMC, and then for UM you just left 3 weeks, and the remaining you just left 1 month. Okay, so this is really the reality that I want to remind every one of you. You have to really readjust your focus. How would you actually able to fight in this upcoming month? And I for sure that in next week, all of your members wouldn't able to work, including you, including me, myself as well, right? Like everyone will go into holiday mode, or some of you guys will go into exam, studying for exam after Raya, things like that. So yeah, just an expectation. You just left all these few weeks only. Okay, so with that, right, definitely, like, let's not blame the timeline, all these things as well, because the reality is that you cannot undo any of the things anymore. Like you wouldn't able to travel back to get more time, all those things. But what you need to do is just focus on the time that you left lah, which is like which is this thing, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 1 month. Yeah, so I think it's not to bring the seriousness to every one of you, like how short is the timeline, all those things. But I think one key thing is that your team capacity is the things that you will need to know when you're actually planning on your timeline. I really tell every one of you since onboarding, right, in area of the O2O, I think if you still remember the conversation that I have with you, the most important thing that you have is your timeline. So if you really didn't, you know, stay ahead of your timeline, find a way on how can you catch up on the timeline, yeah, your team is going to burn out and they are not going to progress, and eventually they will leave this organization as well, because they wouldn't get actually feel the comfortable experience and also the experience that they're able to learn and develop, right? Okay, so I think just sharing you guys a model circle of concern. Do anyone saw this before? I think sometimes in conference we do have, right? Anyone didn't saw before? Yes? No? Can respond to me so that I know you are here. Can't remember. Okay, Mani first time. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. I will share with you guys. Okay, Grace, no. Yanbi, new. Okay, Cecilia, yes. Yeah, all right. Yup. Okay, Brenda is yes. Okay. All right, it's okay that you don't know, but I will be sharing you guys. So I think this can really apply not in Isaac only, but in you yourself, your real life lah. Okay, so actually there's a model called like circle of concern. So there's three things. So circle of control is the middle one, and then circle of control is the second layer, and then circle of concern is the last layer. So circle of control like often is the things that you can directly control, you can change. And then circle of influence is that you can only do something, but the outcome you cannot control. Like for example, maybe you suggest your friend to buy this watch, but in the end your friends buy another watch, but that is the things that you cannot control anymore because you can only influence, right? And then circle of concern is all of the things that you worry, like the fear that you have, like for example, maybe next seconds I would lost my money if I didn't make this decision, for example. Yeah, a lot of like circle of concern. So what I want to share with you guys right is to put your energy into circle of control on the things that you can control, or at least 50% you can put in circle of influence. But a circle of confluence is something that you need to let go. Or if the outcome of circle of influence is something that you do not need to care. For example, you pitch to your partner, right? For example, about all of your projects already, but whether your partners will make the decision is the outcome that you cannot control anymore. But what you can control is to make your proposal good, make your unique selling point good. So that is the circle of control. Okay, do you guys get what I mean here? Yes, right? If yes, yeah, you can put a wave so that I can stop a while. Okay, nice. All right, so I think a lot of you guys mentioned a lot of things in the last commission call in the data inferences that you made. So circle of, a lot of you guys mentioned don't have manpower. That is actually circle of concern. Like I wouldn't able to make this decision because I don't have manpower. I wouldn't able to make this decision. I wouldn't able to achieve this goal because I don't have manpower. But what you actually can do in circle of control is actually restructuring your JD. You don't have manpower is already a reality, right? Like, but you have to think away, SVP, how can you make your JD in the most effective way? Like for example, your OCER directly find a way to work with another project OCER just to find a similar partner for all of the projects, things like that. You can restructure the JD and you can prioritize the focus. So for example, right now it's attraction phase and you are already asking your member to prepare for preparation phase, but our attraction is not even achieving. So what you can control is to prioritize your focus and also hack the process. Don't do extra work. Think the way that you can really hack the process, like think the smart way. For example, I just take one example, re-raising partner, right? So I think some of you guys are re-raising partner, but some of you guys don't want to re-raise partner, things like that. Okay, maybe your partner is not good, or maybe the partners don't want to continue, things like that, right? So try the way to, let yourself to work the fastest way, like for example, hack the process. And one last thing is synergy. So I think one thing is that don't be too rigid with only IGV do this, but you are not seeking help from others, or you are not seeking support from the function that is more expert. For example, you don't have manpower, but you can actually do synergy to look into the timeline by when you can recruit OCV, and by that time, what should OCV do, things like that. So that's why synergy need to happen. And or like for example, you want to deliver sales L&D, and who is the expert in sales? BD, right? So are you guys finding BD to actually getting like the support from BD to actually deliver sales? So that is the things that you can control and find the solution instead of concerning about, okay, don't have manpower, then I don't know what to do. And then I just ask us, PM, you guys continue to go and recruit people, things like that. But the MRE is already passed, right? So what you need to do, focus is right now. Okay, so the next part, circle of concern, timeline delay. Everyone will mention timeline delay, and that's why I don't have performance, things like that, right? But the circle of control is that when your timeline delay, you have to set clear bottom line by when you need to achieve what. Like for example, by April, I need to achieve 10 approval. That I need to achieve. I need to find a way how to achieve that. And then I need to find a way, or you can set a clear deadline to your synergy function or to your team. By this time, I need to achieve this. So what can you do? Okay, and communicate it to the team. Always communicate about the timeline to your team. Like right now it's already when, and then we are still lacking how many months or how many days, things like that, just like just now what I did, right? And then the next part is also about commitment issue. So I think every one of you will have commitment issue, right? Personally, when I was in LC, I also like this. I have SM, I have other clubs, things like that. So how can you, build your team that actually be accountable, expectation setting, and use your team to actually work team meeting to actually have working space instead of just reporting, like for example, report, okay, my progress, things like that. So everyone can fill in slide beforehand and read beforehand, and then when we go into the team meeting, we just discuss instead of like, I just report my progress, that's it. So think of the way how can you reduce the commitment of like people going into meeting, but make your team meeting more effective with working space or brainstorming. And also last but not least is also with your team, have a more effective schedule. So for example, your member will tell you, right? Like for example, from Monday to Sunday, I have to work with Isaac. No, I don't think so. So how can you make sure that your member able to work, like for example, in the most minimum way while they are still able to juggle the academics or commitments, right? I think same for every one of you. So I think just sharing a bit of my tips, my own tips, okay? So normally, right, my Monday will be my EBM, and then Tuesday will be my department meeting, and then Friday will be my team leader meeting. But department meeting, right, I think some of you guys do it like very frequent, but some of you guys like just do it monthly. So for me, I just do it monthly basis because I think the director have enough competence to actually lead the member, or even I can actually challenge my director to lead better, things like that. But you just need to keep the engagement and bonding there only. I think one key thing is because IGV is very big that you wouldn't able to go onto the ground, but you can join in their team meeting if you want. Okay. But for my, like for example, my Monday or my Tuesday, I wouldn't able to work on, I won't join any ISAC meetings. And then Wednesday, I just join commission call. And then Thursday is my rest day. That I focus on academic, and then Friday I just work on my team leader meeting, and the rest of the time I will just solely focus on academic. So it's really about how you actually arrange your time and also how you help a member to oversee their schedule as well. Okay, and last but not least, a lot of you guys double rolling, right? This is about circle of concern as well. Like you will just keep thinking about, oh, I double roll, so I wouldn't able to do this and I wouldn't able to do that, that's why my progress is slow, things like that, right? But the circle of control is task delegation. Even though you double roll for director, but you need to understand that you need to find a proxy, or like in future you need to build someone to become director, empower them to take up more challenge instead of teaching A to Z. So no matter how that will be the reality that you need to face, that you really need to find a way on how can you work your responsibility as a VP instead of like, you go into the groundwork, things like that. Provided you actually able to handle your commitment, then it's fine lah. But then, yeah, task delegation, if you wouldn't able to commit for double rolling, then you need to learn how to delegate the task and how to empower them. Okay, so I think as mentioned in conclusion, right, your responsibility as VP is that timeline is your limited budget. So seriously, everyone of you need to reflect a little bit that this is the limited budget that you have. So in the remaining upcoming weeks, what should I do? And really spend 70% of your time communicate with your directors or even your team. So communicate is not only talking about ideas, telling about vision, things like that. It's about coaching them and also have your O2O with them, support them in terms of like their operation and also mental as well. And the other things, right, is thinking, not doing. Your role, right, is no longer doing anymore. When you go for even higher role, it's a lot on time is that thinking how to make it effective, think of how to achieve the goal itself. Yeah, and place your team into practical experience, optimize your team effectiveness and capacity, and performance reviews such as like synergy and tracking. So I think today, right, I will focus more on these two, which is place your team into practical experience and also talking about 70% communication and 30% thinking. Okay, so with that, right, yeah, anyone of you know 70-20-10 model? Anyone know? Or you heard before, or you didn't heard before? I think if you are from Speak Up, you will know. Yes. Wow, nice. Okay, nice. All right. Yeah, I think if you are from Speak Up Project previously, right, then maybe you will know about this lah. Yeah. Okay. So actually, 70-20-10 model is an educational model and how to teach a person to learn, like how to learn, right? Okay. So how many of you done onboarding and how many of you haven't done? Yeah. If you done, then you say yes. If you haven't, then you say no. Okay, Yan Yin, thanks for the update. Yeah. Yes, done. Mostly done, right? Yes. Nice. Okay. Okay, nice. All right, then what do you think they need after onboarding is done? Task to work on. Okay, hands on. Practical. Task delegation. Okay. How about the others? Give my love and care. Good job, Yanbin. Yeah, VP also need to give love and care to the team, right? Okay, yeah. I think some of you guys, mostly of you guys mentioned practical. Okay, so I think also then reflecting right now, right? What are you currently providing to them? Is it just L&D or is it just like tasks or what else that you are providing to them? Don't know. L&D. Okay, Grace is L&D. How about others? L&D, socializing space. What else? L&D and team space. Wow, support. Give some resources and let them explore first before L&D. Wow, Catrice. Wow, okay, I like this. Okay, free hand leadership, right? Okay, nice. All right, then I think just sharing a bit more on like what is 70-20-10 model, right? And then I think L&D is about like okay, before that, right? Everyone know what is L&D, right? Learning and development, right? Okay, it's learning and development. So I think learning and development is a way on like how you will actually let your let your employee to learn the skill and also to develop the skill through like different kind of techniques like coaching, trainings, team, like one-to-one or even assessment. And the learning is often applies to immediate teaching, and development is a long-term skills that they actually develop in themselves, things like that. Okay, so I think just sharing a bit more on like the way of like learning. Okay, so how is the teaching methods and also normally how your lecturer teach you are things like that. So I guess everyone learn the most when you guys actually practice by doing, right? So also one thing is that which method that you think you learn the best from here, from all these lists? I hope no one choose lecture. Preparing before teaching others. Oh, Yanbin, nice. Teach others. Mm-hmm. Teach others. Okay, Bernard also teach others, then you will learn the best. How about others? Like Sunyi, Janine, mentoring others. Grace also teach. Wow, nice. Then you guys should go facilitators role. You will learn more. Okay, Ruba Siri is like practice by doing. Okay, Aina is also practice. Okay, now we will know some of you guys are implementer. Okay, all right. So yeah, I think that's the part. So how the 70-20-10 works, right? So 10% is actually through the L&D space. Like for example, right now I give you one-way delivery, but I wouldn't able to make practical space for everyone or few things like that. Like webinar, conferences, it's just like 10%. But the and then afterwards, practical experience, direct work on the task or provide challenge. And then after you after you go for practical space, right, and then you feedback on the task, and after you feedback, they practical again, and you feedback again, and you recap the entire experience, and this is how a human develop. Or maybe you can reflect a little bit, or how was your past experience in Isaac, and how would you actually develop yourself. So teach someone else is the place that you actually learn the best. So this often, right, actually apply on your own. So if you want your director to learn as well, right, it's also let them to teach others instead of you teach. Okay, so I think this can give you a better insights, like how would you actually empower your director, or even challenge your director to learn. Okay, so with that, right, the most important thing is that practical experience is one of the way that you actually can develop your members the fastest way, and also for them to directly get the 10% of the education that you actually deliver to them. Okay. Okay, so I think this is the 70-20-10 model in practice. So 70%, right, is directly apply their learning in the job. So for example, you have internship, all those things, right? So internship is the time that you learn the most, no matter is what kind of like skills or mindset that you will have. And don't forget, after they learn, right, that's why we have like feedback again, feedback, all those things. So that is the time where they receive coaching and mentoring. So O2O, all these things is super important, that you need to provide the support system to your members for them to actually know what can they do better, what can they develop better. And the 10% normally comes from like e-learning lah, like conferences lah, reading articles, or maybe you give them education, things like that. Okay, so one thing to remind any one of you, do not, I mean, in the next O2O call or even coaching call, I hope that no one mentioned to me again that because my member do not know how to do, and then I need to give L&D, so I don't have time to actually progress things like that. Okay, but let your team to do and experience and feel and learn. So I think one thing is that do not fear of like they will fail, but let them fail. So I have one quote. Okay, I always tell my members is that, yeah, you have to eat the shit first, then you will know how is it, and you will learn that. So really let your members to try on, like, fail and fall down, and let them realize about what can they do better. But let them fail doesn't mean that you just let them go, like, okay, you are not doing well and you shouldn't fail, things like that. But that is why you will have O2O coaching to recap their experience, like, okay, so why you fail here, because here are the part that you we should take note, things like that, or what you actually learn from this mistake and how can you do better, things like that. Yeah, you definitely can provide support to them, or even you can ask them what is the support that they need, things like that. If they do not have, then just let them go. Okay, so I think some of you guys are telling me about, like, you are afraid of delegating tasks to your member, things like that, afraid of their commitment, things like that. But your job is not to afraid of delegating tasks, but your job is to make sure that they have capacity to do by actually managing themselves. So that is your key roles. Okay, and as a leader, you help them to learn through giving feedback and also challenge them as well. Okay, so a key message for every one of you, I think this quote is quite nice. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. So how can you make your members to involve and feel the contribution that they are giving in the team, is to place them into practical experience and recap their achievement. Okay, so from here, do anyone of you have any questions? Like, you are cool? I mean, do you get what I mean here? You guys get? Cool, right? Yeah, I hope that in upcoming, you can also bring these L&Ds to your director. Okay, because every one of you are the first time being team leaders, or maybe some of you guys are coming from member to VPs, right? So this is the way that how can you empower your member or challenge your member to learn. Okay, all right. So with that, right, so just now I mentioned it's about place your team into practical experience, right? So next we will focus more on thinking. Okay, yeah, let's have some reflection about what kind of thinker are you. Okay, some activities lah. Okay, so with that, right, let's do some activity. You just need to type in the chat box. So the first step, the first thing, right, for you is that you can choose. The first step is to, for you when you're choosing focus, right, is to identify the focus of your thinking in a particular context or setting. So I give you a situation and then you can choose. So in the morning, right, are you the person that plans to think about the problems you need to solve, or the plans you need to make, or the actions that you need to take, or the people you need to see? So there are four statements here. You can choose which one are you. You can write down, or you can just directly put in the chat box so that you can know. So there are four. So what type of people are you? Let's identify our thinking style. Okay, wow, we have 3% action need to take. So need also action. Wow, everyone implementer. Okay, you find good friends here. Anyone have different one, like the people you need to see, or the problem you need to solve, or the plan you need to make? There is no right or wrong. It's just some options. How about the other? Like, okay, Brandon is problem you need to solve. Aina is problem you need to solve. Okay, okay. Okay, problem you need to solve. Okay, yeah. For those you are not putting down, then I hope you are doing so that you can find out your final answer. Okay, cannot miss the step. Okay, next one. Do you tend to pay most attention to ideas, or process, or action, or relationship? Which one are you? There's four. Okay, Bernard is process. Relationship. Okay, process. Wow, a lot of process. Okay, Calvin is action. Anyone put ideas? Ideas or ideas for process? Okay, can be two as well. Relationship, action. Okay, relationship for process. Okay, yeah, but you can prioritize one lah. Try your best. Try to think normally which one you will focus the most. Okay, yeah, because in the end you will choose only one lah. Okay, so orientation, right? So what tends to bother you in meetings? So are you more likely to complain about getting dragged into weeds, or about things being too general and not specific enough? So getting dragged into weeds means you are for example getting very detailed, or you are the person that person that actually will feel very frustrated that it is too general or too broad. Yeah, you can just throw either macro or micro lah. Like you like detail or you like general. Micro, okay. Grace like micro. So in team meeting, you need to go into detail. Then you will just feel effective, right? In team meeting. Okay. How about others? Money is macro. Okay, just tell me big picture. I don't need to tell me A to Z. Okay. Wow, prefer detail. A lot of you guys are detail. Okay, now I know my VPs. A lot of detail. Okay, Calvin and Yawen is macro. Just tell me and picture what you want to see. Don't need to teach me. Okay, nice, nice. All right, so yeah, with the one that you guys mentioned just now, right? Okay, so this is about thinking style. Is actually normally what you tend to focus when you are making decision or when you are thinking. Okay, so just now if you choose your orientation is details, right, then you are actually details. And then if you choose your orientation is big picture, then you are actually a big picture, which is the macro lah. Then if you choose the focus, right, is about ideas, then you can see that if your idea and detail, then you will be expert. And then if your ideas and big picture, you'll be explorer. Okay, yeah. And then focus is the one that you choose. So I think a lot of you guys put down like action, right? So yeah, I think a lot of action and detail is producer. Okay, yeah. So how many of you, like, maybe you can just put in the chat box, like, which one are you? Okay, Ray is coach, relationship and detail. Okay, so you are the thinking coach thinking style. So you ask question a lot. Oh, Calvin is energizer. Okay, okay. Planner. Okay, a lot of planner. It's big picture and process planner. Sunyi is producer. Nadia is coach. Okay, how about others? Bernard is optimizer. Wow, we have one optimizer. Okay, Bernard, next time I will find you to hack the process. Yeah, you guys can find some brain like Bernard, you know, like optimize the process if you need to hack. How can you do fastest? Yanbin, I'm the Dora the Explorer. Okay, Yanbin is Explorer. Hey, I thought you are detail. You just don't put details, right? You
Oh,
details.
it's a joke, Dora Explorer. Sorry.
Okay, I won't slap you. Okay, Grace is Explorer. Okay, Grace is the real Dora. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I think with that, right, I will just explain what does it mean. So if you are explorer, right, then your strength in thinking is always about ideas. So I'm not sure, Grace, maybe you can reflect how you conduct team meeting or how you actually do strategy thinking, right? You will come out with a lot of like ideas, things like that. Yeah. So I think you can try to think about whether you are that. And then I think planner is about designing system, designing effective system. So you have very big overview, what does it mean? But you focus a lot of like how this process can lead into big picture. Okay. And I think energizer, I think only have one, right? I think it's Calvin. Yeah, I think normally when back then I was VPIGV, right, in my commission have a lot of energizer. Yeah, it's like big picture and Excel action. So normally this kind of person I like for me I'm also more energizer is that you just need to put people into action and then you know like what is the end goal you want to see and then make sure the people is working things like that. And a connector thinking is about thinking how to make sure that the team build up together so that they can work towards the vision or the team goal, things like that. And while if you are actually detailed, I think mostly of you guys are fall into here. So I think for expert, mainly you are always thinking about how to achieve the objective itself or the goal itself. Yeah. So which means that you are super detailed and then you are also one of the person that is actually kind of like researcher materials, like you keep on thinking about how about this and curiosity that you have. Yeah. And optimizer, I think we have like Bernard, right? Is optimizer. So it's about improving productivity and efficiency. I like this kind of person because you will think of the smart way, okay? Or maybe sometimes you're just lazy lah. So that's why you need to improve the productivity. Yeah. And then producer is about complete finisher. You just want to you are the one that you if you say you want to do this, you'll complete it. Yeah. And I think for coach, I think some of you guys like Nadia or Ray, it's about cultivating people and potential. So when you're actually delegating tasks or even making a decision, you are thinking, how can I make this opportunity or this experience to make that person to develop the most? Okay. But I think if you guys can rethink also like based on normally how do you work things like that or how do you think, it will give you a better, more clearer answer for you lah. Okay. So I think for this, just some like not personality test lah, like for you to identify your thinking style and also your strengths, like what kind of thinkers are you? So which means that what I want to bring out here is that right, your role as VP, right, is about thinking. Okay. I mean, not only doing, but you communicate, but at the same time thinking how you can work the most effective way for you to achieve the goal that you wish to see, things like that. So I hope that with this thinking style that you have, right, I mean, you actually today, okay, you find out this thinking style can help you to realize what strengths that you have right now. Okay. And with that strengths, how can you apply your strengths in leading your team or making a decision? Whether, like, for example, if you're optimizer, right, then definitely you have a very good strength as in how can you coach your director to work more effective. Like for example, you maybe you just skip this funnel. Like for example, I work with OGV, we directly make apply on the spot in consultancy space. Why we need to go through like so many processes. I call you, I text you, I promote project to you, things like that. So with this kind of thinking, right, try to apply into your operations or even how you lead your team on how can you achieve the most productivity, things like that. But same for others as well, right? Like for example, Energizer, right? Normally for me, when I have my strategy, right, I'm thinking about how to delegate to my ESTs to work, things like that. Yeah. So this is on a way on like for you to actually figure out like how can you actually think or even lead better as well. Okay, is it cool, everyone? Do you guys clear? Is it true for you? Yeah, no. Hey, are you guys still there? Okay, Nadia, maybe Grace wave. Okay, Calvin's can. Okay, mostly wave, right? Okay, yeah, you can do this with your team as well to see how is your director thinking style. Okay, all right, so I think recap a little bit. As mentioned, your responsibility as VP: timeline, communication and thinking, place your team into practical experience, optimize team effectiveness and capacity, and also performance overview, synergy and tracking, right? And in the end, it's a strategic role. So your role is strategic role. So are you actually playing this strategic role? With these five, right, are you actually really playing the strategic role that VP need to play? Okay, so it's a questions for you guys to reflect. Are you right now being strategic enough to actually lead your team or even lead the function itself or not? Okay, so yeah, this five is enough for you to remember already because this is the role that you need to have. Okay, all right, so with that, right, yeah, I think before we go to another part, which is project innovation, any questions or concerns that you guys have? Yeah, if you have like your own personal concerns that you want to ask, and then everyone can learn, you can also ask. Mm. So then you can just put a wave line. Wave, okay. All right, so
Wanna
yeah,
ask,
yeah, who is
wanna ask the national IYE, what's the chances of it happening?
or national IYE, is it? There will be
Yeah.
national IYE, but we won't be downscaling today because ESD is not free, but it will be recording for every one of you by this week.
Okay. So it's confirmed already, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any more questions? Okay, all right, then we will move on. Okay, so for project innovation, right? I think previously we have some of you mentioned about project innovation that you do not know how to innovate project, things like that, right? So I think after MCVP BD, they do group coaching. Okay, thanks, Yan Ying. Do group coaching with your VP BD, right? I think we face a few of the common problem, but I think coming from my side, I also wish to understand from every one of you, like how is the synergy that you work with BD as well, and also what is the current progress on your innovations, and also like do you stuck in your innovation, things like that. Okay, so I think beforehand, right, maybe I can listen from every one of you, like why do we have BD as our synergy function? FP, wow, Grace, okay, very reality. Value adding to project. Okay, Yawen is also money, very realistic. But not money, financial resources. Okay. Partnership that can help us in innovating K. Wow. Top student, Calvin. Okay. How about others? Those that are from BD. Anything else? Remember. Okay, good job. At least you remember. Okay, luckily you didn't forget. Okay, good student. Okay, all right. So I think also another question for you is like from 1 to 10, how much do you understand what is BD selling to partners? 6, 8. Wow, money 8 leh. Oh, Grace is 9. Okay, I think why Grace 9, right? Currently, in BD commission, is one of the most performing BD LCS file. Okay, not bad, not bad. If you guys want to ask more about how does BD work, right? And then you guys can also approach Grace. Yeah. Okay, category 6, Kelvin 7, right? Okay, nice, nice. Okay, no matter whether you know or do not know, today I will let you know how much you understand your BD. Okay, so I think when I do coaching with every one of you, a lot of you guys do not know what does the portfolio that they are selling, and you never know, you never question your BD, what are they selling? Okay, you just know, okay, they want to find financial resources for you, and you just plan project, that's it, right? Okay, it's okay, it's okay, okay. All right, so I think the first thing is that I think the bottlenecks that really I think IGV and BD facing is that your partner do not see the reason of having this project, which is not clear value proposition. So no matter how good you innovate your project, activities is how good, right, fancy, all these like strategies, things like that. If your partner do not know why they need to have this project with them, your project, no matter how your project is like unable to achieve the direction or even the objective that you want to see. Okay, so I think I just take an example, right? So first thing first is that whether do you clear with your SDG target or not in your project. So I think as VP, besides you coach your director, you let your director plan all these things, but minimally you need to know what is the end goal that your project is achieving and the impact that they are achieving. So I just take speak up. So for speak up, right, a lot of you guys just know that, oh, we teach high school students, things like that, right? But then for speak up, actually, they are actually focused on building skills that is relevant for future employment, decent job, and entrepreneurship. Okay, how many of you today just know about this? Like you know or don't know? I want to see how is my commission. Okay, I know, money no. Okay, luckily. How about others? Okay, Yanbin is a yes. Those running speak up. Yes, those that didn't run, you can also based on your whether you know or you don't know as well. Okay, good job. A lot of you guys say yes, right? Okay, Yanni also okay, yes. Okay, even though Hero didn't run speak up, right? Okay, then yeah, I think that's the thing. Like one key thing is that that is already a value proposition of your project. Whether do your BD really know about that? So I think I get from Eugene as well is that your VP BD do not know about that we are actually building the skills for the kids for future employment, right? And then they do not know that this is something that company can contribute for their future, future impact, employment, things like that, and how does it bring values for the kids in future. So yeah, one homework for every one of you, communicate this to the team, or even to actually for you to reflect, does your entire synergy function really know about what is your project doing or not? Okay, so I think reflecting, right, like for example, I just take speak up. So how can you relate that all these things to your partners, all those things? So for example, when you're actually doing innovation for activities, go into see external trends. So for example, I think speak up or even any of the conference project like those NYLC or SYLC, or even for those like doing educational project for refugees, or even for those like local project that is focusing on education, right? Are you actually riding on the external trends? So for example, when we do speak up, right, we know that in future, the top skills are technology, engineering, things like that. And the job in demand in Malaysia, a lot on engineering and technology, things like that, right? So that's why you will have like you choose your focus on what you want to do. For example, in future, these are the skills that we want to see, and today we need to start teaching the kids with like for example programming, and or maybe like for example video editing, or even games and apps development. Okay, so I think right, one question to ask every one of you, as well is that why are you choosing this focus or activities, and what are the research that you have done, and have you communicated clearly on why you choose this with your BD? So I think I get one of the VPBD also. I mean, I get one of the input from BD Commission is that the partners do not know why we need to do animation video, for example. Is it the future skills or future job, or even it will help the company to achieve, like for example, their end goal that they wish to see, or why we need to teach kids animation video? Doesn't mean that, like for example, doing animation video or doing video editing or animation is something that is not good, for example. But then why are we doing that? So are you actually having the clear picture with the team, or even do the VPBD actually know that what is your project end goal that we wish to see, things like that? So same for other project. For your BD side, right? Like for example, if you are working on any of the educational project, maybe a lot of you guys mentioned like, oh, educational project is very hard to sell. No one wants to sell because okay, it's very general. Everyone will do educational volunteering activities, things like that, right? But how does it add on values to that company, things like that? So I think I just share some example for one of you. Okay, sorry, the sequence goes wrong. I think a GCP from national sales. Okay, so it's a GCP pick up with BASF Petronas Chemicals E-Class campaign. I think it's we work together with TU. So they choose the focus element is science. And then this, you guys know Petronas, right? It's working on oil manufacturing company, and it's a chemical company, right? So they all actually harm the community, harm the environment the most. But at the same time, they wish to contribute back to the community with like, chemical free and how to manage like chemicals or even plastic waste, things like that. So what is the unique selling point is that when you are choosing a focus element, it has to be very clear, and also the partners that we are targeting, it should be similar. For example, if you choose technology, right, and then your partner that you find maybe it's not technology company, then how would you actually link to them, things like that? So for example, for this one, we choose science, and then we focus on chemistry. We teach them about, for example, 3D chemical compound 3D structure designing, for example. But the things for them is not to make sure that they fully understand how to use the app, but it's give them a realization or even relevant for their future career, spark their interest that actually you can work in chemistry field. And also plastic waste management, on how can this chemistry actually relate to the plastic waste that you produce every day. So the thing is that the value that we provide to the partner is that the partner is actually a chemical manufacturing company, and this topic is actually relevant to both your students and your partner. You guys get what I mean, right? Yes, no? This is a way on how you can find the value proposition between two stakeholders as well, between your partner or between your students. Okay, so bring back to the previous question I asked you, like why are you choosing this focus or activities? Same for other project. I think previously when I coach like KP and also JB, regarding your local project conference project, right? So why are you choosing that business case challenge? How does it relate to the company or even to the beneficiary? Like what skills you are building, things like that. Like, and then for you, are you clear? Like for example, right now, is it the external trends? Like for example, financial literacy is something that we are very lacking on, things like that, or digital literacy, things like that. Okay, so that's why here are some example that I can provide to you, or even GCP lah. So in the end, yeah, this is how does it look like, and the partners get to involve a little bit in communicating with the students, and also the impact that they wish to see is the students have awareness on chemicals and how to reduce chemicals as well. Okay, so I think that's some example that I can give you, and I hope that you have some ideas on how to work on project innovation. Okay, and I think the second part will be on both IGV and BD do not know what is happening in each other lah. So I think the common problem in IGV is that you guys just innovate project based on your own interests, plan key activities without understanding what is external trends and also the pain and gain, and didn't communicate with your BD about why you have the project. So you just go into synergy meeting and then say, okay, what's your sales meeting output, things like that. But do you tell them why you are doing these activities, or why are you doing this project? And also common problem in BD, you pitch to your partner without knowing why IGV sell all this activity, like why you guys set this or why you guys choose these activities. Like they just tell, okay, we want to do speak up. Do you want to donate us money? That's it. Okay. So I think that's the thing. That's why currently this is what the BD is facing as well. So for you to also realize what is the common problem that they are facing right now, and they do not know your unique selling point. So remember, BD is not the one that plan project. You guys are the one that plan project. You know the most what is the selling point of your project. So if you didn't communicate clearly, they never know. Okay. And last but not least, remember to also make sure that they communicate clearly the sales output that can help you to innovate your project. Okay. All right. So I think last but not least, yeah, actually in the end, what we want to see is just synergy. Is the synergy in true love between your IGV and BD, while you are having deep understanding in both, like care on each other and also know how to support. Okay. All right, so I think with that, right, we won't proceed for this one. I will bring this into group coaching to actually ask you more about the bottlenecks that you have, things like that lah. Okay, so is everyone cool? Or any questions you wish to ask? Cool. Okay. I hope you have better ideas on how to innovate your activities better that actually can support your BD as well, and at the same time you don't just create activities for the sake of because you want to do that. Okay. All right, so I think let's move to the next. Okay. Yeah, so I think just now I also mentioned about we just left like 1 month, right, like for attraction, not to scare you guys, just to give you urgency. Okay. Okay, so I think as what I have mentioned last commission call is that we will have group coaching. So this is the group coaching that I have grouped together, and this will be the time that I actually set for every one of you. So maybe if you wouldn't able to make it, right, you can let me know and you can propose the date. Okay, who if you wouldn't able to make on the date, right, cannot make it, why, and then so you can put a proposed date as well, so I can actually arrange you. But the things is that when I arrange you guys, it's based on the strengths and weaknesses of your LC and the current performance of your LC as well. Okay, and also the strengths and weaknesses of that VP. So based on the coaching style that I have, after I understand every one of you. So we have group 1 and group 2 is under me, and then we have like group 3 and 4 is under Yufei and Brandon. So we'll have ESD to join in to coach on this, because I will die if I coach so many. And then and also we have Siu Tong that will mainly focus on NCR only. Okay. All right. I think do I have any question? Cool. Cool like a pool. Thanks, Yawen. Wow. Okay. All right. So if you cannot make it, you just put down and then propose date here. Okay. I will send you guys over the send you guys the calendar lah. Okay. So in group coaching, what we will focus, right? So some of you guys already have LCVZ quarter 1. I think Utah and Sunway already have. So upcoming will be UMS. But then in upcoming, right, even though you guys already done, but we will utilize your quarter review output in group coaching as well. So I will need you to prepare that. And for those haven't started your LC visit, yeah, I will make this group coaching as your working space for this quarter review. Okay, so you will need to also prepare beforehand, and I will help you to give you a better quarter review output as well. Okay, and summer goal revision and final sprint, consultation for attraction, and also synergy effectiveness, which I will follow up on this part. Okay, for the next synergy with BD, project innovation, and the question you want to ask. Okay, all right, so this will be the part. So just something on the LCVZ quarter 1 review, that why I will use LCVZ quarter 1 review, right? Because it's also the quarterly that I have group coaching. That's why I don't want to just waste your time to just go quarter review and didn't use it at all. But I will make sure that your quarter review output is something useful for you to firefight. Okay, so if you see your Q1 review, right, your LC template, when you go into LC visit, your LCP will give you this quarter review template in your own function. So you will have timeline that you need to check on to put out a learning of the timeline, which I will also read during our group coaching as well. And you will also track on your GVA across all customer flow, conversion rate, process time, and LRGVA. Okay, and then for school partner and earning partner, we already have the database. You just go and extract it, put it in your LC visit quarter review output. And then for NCR, you will have OP1, and make sure that you fill in the quality output. Okay, like for example, what does the attraction initiative will do, and objective, and the results, why even better if. Okay, and you can also do inferences. And for here, right, you can try to use 5 whys model. Like for example, 0 applied for 2 months. Okay, since attractions start, right? Then why is it like this? And you keep on asking why until you find the root cause. Okay, and so that you can have a better way forward. Okay, so this is the quarter review LC visit template. So we will actually utilize it in upcoming group coaching. Okay, and yeah, and also we will have the revised summer goal in also upcoming group coaching to finalize the summer goal that you will have, which is your bottom line. Okay, clear? Wave, right? Okay, yeah. So proceed to the last but not least announcement. Yes, so it's Food Heroes. I hope every one of you aware about that. Okay, I think I previously mentioned in commission call as well. So I think I just want to recognize the participating LCs, which is Penang, UM, Kuching, Sunway, UPM, UCAM, and UMS for participating today. And then I think so for those LCs that you actually wouldn't able to participate, right, it's fine, but you can actually join as facilitators and also encourage your members to join so that they are not keep on doing the same task, things like that as well. Okay, so yeah, I think that's the only announcement that we have today, and we will proceed to the last but not least is harvesting learning space. Everyone come here to put down what have you learned. I think today we have a lot of L&Ds. So yeah, you can put down whatever learning that you have, and we'll play some short music. Yes, yeah, you need to fill in as well.
해질녘 꽃 피는 봄 한여름밤의 꿈 가을타 겨울 내리는 1년 4번 또다시 봄 정들었던 내 젊은 날 이제는 안녕 아름답던 우리의 봄, 여름, 가을, 겨울 Began 뒤에 비에 대신에 비엔 비스듬씩 비웃듯이 생문의 무지개 철없이 철지나 철들지 못해 철부지에 철그러지 오래 멋지 비발디 차이콥스키 오늘의 세계로 맞이해 마침내 시몬네
저 하늘만 바라보고서 사기절 잘 지내고 있어 Goodbye 떠난 사람 또 나타난 사람 머리 위 저 세상 나도 내년감의 아마존 지난 밤에 드라마 담고 목숨 바쳐 달려오 새 출발하는 원목선 변할래 전보다는 더욱더 좋은 사람 더욱더 더 나은 사람 더욱더 아침을 술 맞고 내 안에 분노하고에 묻고 For life Do it away
울었던 웃었던 소녀와 소녀가 그리워 너 찬란했던 사랑했던 시절만 자꾸
Okay, I think mostly you guys are done. Okay, you can still put down. Okay, I think for NIYE, right, we will actually have recording because next 2 weeks we won't have com call, right? But I will bring the recording consultancy in our group coaching because our EST today, she couldn't, Yufei, she couldn't make it to make it because she is traveling back to her hometown from uni as well. So that's why we don't have NIYE. But yeah, if you have any concerns that you have regarding NIYE and you need to get to know us as soon as possible, right? You can just text Yufei personally or me personally, and then I can try to get the updates for you lah. But she will be doing recording for you guys by this week already. Okay. All right. So